What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We are back at Copart here in Oklahoma City for another walk around. So let's jump into this video today and see what we find. Number one, a 2023 Toyota Corolla with some hail damage. Man, I'm telling you, Toyotas are just the way to go, especially if you can find them steeply discounted due to hail damage like this, because these cars, they're going to run and drive just like a brand new car. They're going to have relatively low miles, and they've got two things going against them, which is going to make it a better bargain for you. Number one is the obvious, the hail damage. All right, that's going to play a big role in how much this car sells for, but then again, it's also a rental car. That's another hit on the Carfax report, right? Hail damage and a rental car, because everybody knows, even though the rental car companies may take care of the maintenance, these cars are not exactly loved. You know what I mean? People use these as, well, they use them as drug mules. They use them for all sorts of illicit activities. And of course, a lot of people use them just to get around. But the point is people don't tend to take very good care of these cars. They're beaters because, you know, they pay $30 for a day and they figure they can do whatever they want with it. You know, standing burnouts and drifting and who knows what these cars have been through. So, you know, if you're willing to take a risk on something like this, since it has hail damage, since it was a rental car, these things are generally going to go a lot cheaper than what you would be able to buy one for if you were looking at it retail. Then again, you assume some risk and some liability with the aforementioned issues. You know, you don't know what's going to crop up on these, and generally speaking, they're probably not going to be covered under warranty if it's salvaged. Okay, now I'll be the first to admit, I have had salvaged vehicles in the past that I was able to take back to the dealer and get warranty work done on for free. It just depends, not only on the auto manufacturer, but on each individual facility as to whether they're going to honor warranty issues on a salvage car. The majority of the time, on a salvage car, you are not going to get warranty repairs done. Anything that goes wrong with the car is going to be on you, aside from recalls. Recall work is required by federal law to be done on vehicles. Whether they have a salvage title, clean title, rebuilt title, it doesn't matter. If you've got a vehicle and it has a recall on it, you can take it back to the dealership and they have to take care of the recall work for you. Now on this one, aside from the hail damage, which I don't even know if you guys can see, the hail damage is pretty bad, but it is a bright colored car. A lot of metallic in the paint there. Makes it very difficult to see the hail damage from a distance, but when you're up close, yeah, it's riddled with hail damage. But then again, man, if you're just looking for a cheap vehicle to be able to get yourself from A to B and something that hopefully will last you a long time, well, look no further than a Toyota Corolla or a Toyota Camry. These are great cars. It's a fairly budget trim level car. As you can see, it's got cloth seats, but I mean, it smells good, it looks good, it's got power. So why don't we see if it wants to fire up for us without a jump start. 4,000 miles. That's it. This is a brand new car, guys. So here's the better deal with this car. 4,400 miles on the odometer. That means this thing didn't even have a chance to really get abused. You know what I mean? Fired right up. Wow, no kidding. What a great little car. It's got a nice screen. Touch screen, very nice. Android Auto Error. Yeah, that's fine. We don't care about any of that stuff. It's a very basic car, very simple, but I like it. Look at all the controls on the steering wheel. Very nice. Lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control. I mean, for a basic car, it's actually got some pretty good features. Let's take a look at the gauge cluster. We got a TPMS light. It'd be nice if it told you which tire. I'm sure it does. Let me close the door. Does it tell me which tire in particular I'm having problems with? Total average miles per gallon, 34.2. I need this in my life. It's also got a full tank of gas. The gas tank is overfilled, like maxed out. No joke. Adaptive cruise control and adjust air pressure. Oh, well, it doesn't show any air pressure for any tire. So I'm assuming maybe the car just needs to be driven. It's probably been parked for quite a while. Air conditioning is on. It is ice cold. Of course, we're going to put it in gear, but 4,000 miles, guys, it's a Toyota. Yep, it goes forwards. Backwards, Yep, it goes backwards. Okay, there you go. I mean, what more do you want? This thing is in phenomenal shape. Important window. You already knew that was going to work. Less important window. Of course it works. Everything is going to work on this car, guys. You guys got me thinking about buying one of these for myself now. I don't need it. God, what would I do with a car that got 34 miles a gallon average? I really don't know. That's a lot of money that I'd save, because right now I'm driving my 93 Mustang GT, and it probably doesn't get more than, I don't know, maybe 13 miles a gallon average, maybe. You got your tire toolkit back here. You got the spare tire back here as well. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do with a car that got 34 miles a gallon. I don't. All the gas money I would save on something like this, it's almost, I say almost, because I'm not quite sold yet. It's almost worth picking up one of these for myself and just driving the living heck out of it, man. This would be a hell of a tax write-off, you know what I mean? You could write the car off, you can write the mileage off, all while getting 34 miles a gallon and having a car that shouldn't have any significant problems for a long time to come. That's one of the great things about buying a Toyota, is you can pretty well be guaranteed that these things are going to be trouble-free for the most part. Now, the TPMS lights on, all of the tires show no air. Obviously, they're all full. With 4,000 miles on it, I'm willing to bet that you just need to drive it to kind of reset the TPMS sensors. This is not a bad car. Not at all. I would absolutely drive it. But I've got so many other cars that I'm not sure that I would even drive this, guys. The truth is, I have a brand new pickup truck at home, a 2023 Ram Limited. And at the end of the day, I don't really drive it anymore. I parked the truck and it's been sitting, unless I got to take like the whole family out, because obviously the whole family isn't going to fit in a Fox body. So on occasion, I will take it out when I'm taking the family somewhere. But I really, honest to God, prefer driving my old 80s and 90s vehicles over my brand new truck. So, you know, if I bought something like this, it would probably spend most of its time just sitting. Next, we have a 2009 Cadillac DTS, and the color of this thing is loud, man. It's almost obnoxious. The amount of metallic flake and kind of pearl coat that's in this, I love it. Okay, I want to make it very clear. I absolutely love the color of this. I don't know how well that comes out on camera, but my goodness, man. Wow. The amount of flake is just, it's wild. It does have some hail damage that I can see. This is a platinum DTS. I also saw a little bit of body damage on the front. There are some dings kind of all around it, which you would expect from an older car. The tires need to be replaced, all of them. They're not in very good shape. I think, yeah, the damage that I saw was up here on the hood, which, that sucks. I'll be honest with you, I've never seen this color before, and I would be very concerned about finding a hood that matches this color. The grille is also peeling and coming apart, so I would definitely want to replace the grille and the hood. But aside from that, and tires, it looks good. I know that it's a North Star, and that's going to deter a lot of people. Also, it looks like somebody super glued the mirror. That's not good. I love this pinstriping, though. Take a look at that. Look at the Cadillac emblem. I think that is really cool. Let's take a quick look at it. You know, it's one of those, I really don't need this car, but if it's in halfway ooh. Yeah, it got me stuttering, man. I knew as soon as I looked through the window, I was like, no. Snip. Ooh. Yep. Yeah. So this is a repossession, is what this is. And well, I guess that tells you about all you need to know, right? The smell is just bad. You could tell this thing was filthy. Somebody tried cleaning it out. Like, they emptied it out, maybe even vacuumed a little bit, but you could tell by how stained and dirty the seats are. And this was a smoker's car. This was just, it's pretty bad. It really smells really bad. And take a look. You can see all the dirt and grime all over the car, scratches. Look at the stains in the seat down there. Yeah. Now, I have no doubt that if you sent this to a detail spot, and look right here, you can see somebody was putting their ashes out in the door as well. You know, it's just one of those things. People were definitely in here smoking that Mary Jane, man. You can smell it. You can see all the burn marks. You know, that's unfortunate, because this is a really nice car. It still could be. I think if I were to send this over to Brian at the auto spa, I'd be willing to bet that he could do something with it, man. I think he could make this look a whole lot better. With that said, North Star, right? Now, 09 should be a whole lot safer bet for the North Star engine than anything prior to 2006. If I remember correctly, 2006 is when they fixed the head bolts pulling out of the engine on these. There we go. I use air quotes because I'll be completely honest with you, I have seen North Star after North Star after North Star after North Star completely blown up. And it doesn't seem to matter what year it is, and it's almost always head gasket related. Now, the hood strut is bad on this, so I have to film with one hand and hold the hood with the other, which makes this a lot more difficult. But one of the things I noticed right off the bat is there's no fuel injectors. None. There's no fuel injectors. There's a lot of connectors just disconnected, laying about under the hood. Same thing over here. And then you've got a coolant return line, also just disconnected. A fuel line, presumably, it may be a vacuum line, disconnected. And it looks like the intake is just, yep, it's just kind of, whoop, kind of hanging around down there. So we are not going to attempt to start this car. There's just connectors everywhere. I mean, take a look, guys. There's connectors just hanging out all over the place. So obviously, yeah, she doesn't run, and that's a shame, because I was really looking forward to starting this one up. You know, I could live with the dent in the hood, I suppose. It's not that bad. I wonder what's wrong with it. So on the North Star, the starter resides under the intake manifold. It's a crazy, kind of horrible design, and you'll hear a lot of people complain about it. I've done starters on these many, many times, and once you've done it a few times, it's an inconvenience, but I mean, doing a starter is going to be an inconvenience regardless. It's just more of an inconvenience on this. You really do have to pop the upper plenum off to get to the starter, which sits right in the valley of the engine. It's not a big deal to do if you've done it a few times. If you've never done it before, then yeah, you're going to look at this engine, you're going to think, this is too much. This is crazy. It's not that bad. And it makes me wonder if somebody had started pulling the intake and everything apart because it needed a starter. Could it just need a starter, or could it be something much more serious? And where's all the parts? That's the next question. Obviously, it's got no power. I don't really want to bother with popping the trunk, hooking the booster pack up and everything, but yeah, I do wonder if they were kind enough to put the parts in the trunk, but seeing as it's a repossession, I'm gonna bet probably not. And honestly, the last thing I need right now is a North Star headache. But hey, here it is. You can probably get it really cheap. As I said, it looks like a repossession, I'm assuming, but it looks like it's a repossession just judging by the sticker on it, where it came from. You could probably get this car really, really cheap if you were willing to take a risk. Next, for those of you that love trucks as much as I love trucks. I've got trucks. I don't need another truck, but if I see one, I'm probably going to look at it because I just love trucks. And this one is kind of cool. It's a 2018 F-150. I just got rid of a 2018 F-150 that had some kind of a weird noise coming from the engine that I did not bother figuring out, guys. I messed with it. I changed the oil. We flushed it and everything, and that didn't work. And I decided best just to let that one go. I had a lot of you say that it was just an intake noise, intake flappers. I had other people say it's timing chain issues, it's tensioner issues, variable valve timing type of things, and I don't know. And I didn't want to find out, so I let it go. But I do love this body style, this generation of the F-150. This is an XL. It's a work truck. It's obviously got the work lights. Maybe it still has the stuff inside to control the lights. That'd be kind of cool. You can see it's got a light bar up top here. Probably just amber and white would be my guess, because riding around with the red and blues, well, that's illegal in most places, including Oklahoma. But you got little lights down here too. I'm assuming these are all like little strobe lights. This was obviously a work truck, probably belonged to like the city or a construction company or something like that. Maybe a road crew type of deal. Lots of, it looks like they did cement. I'm gonna just go out on a limb there and say it was definitely cement. There's rocks and stuff in there. You got a nice diamond plate aluminum toolbox. Honestly, truck doesn't look too bad. And this is an off-lease vehicle, which means, you know, somebody leased it and they used it, and here it is. It's no longer needed. So we'll take a quick look at the interior. Usually the interiors of work trucks are pretty bad. They usually smell awful. Hey, give me. Let's, you know, honestly, this isn't bad. This is not bad. I mean, normally, guys, if you've watched my videos for any length of time, the seats are usually ripped and torn up. The padding is usually hanging out, and on the corners here, they're usually falling over and ripped apart. And I'll be completely honest with you, this does not smell too bad. It doesn't. It's got the work truck floor mats, which are really nice. I shouldn't say floor mats, but the carpet has been replaced with this rubberized floor, which is really, really nice, easy to clean. It's dirty, cloth interior, needs a good cleaning, but surprisingly, it doesn't smell. 9 times out of 10, these things are almost unbearable to get in. Well, I don't know what the miles are on this yet, but I'm going to guess about 180, maybe 190, 200 tops. Let's just go 190 to be safe, all right? Oh, it said, hold on, there it is, 184, 539. Fired right up. One of the big things to listen for when you first start a Ford is timing chain noise. And I didn't hear any at all. Looks like you got a little controller down here, which probably handles the strobe lights. How that works, I don't know. Power. Well, I assume the strobe lights are doing something. Yep. Oh, it does have the red lights. Yeah, that could get you in some trouble there, guys. Let's push it again and see. Do they flash or do they? Yeah, you can get them to flash. So there's different patterns for these. Those red lights are going to be what gets you right there, guys. Oh, it's got the blues too. Yeah. See, you can use that if you're like a street crew or whatever, but that could definitely get you in some trouble as an individual. Every state is different, obviously, but you got to be real careful with stuff like that. These lights back here don't seem to be doing anything at all. I turned everything on, so if it's got lights, it should be working. These lights up here aren't doing anything either, so maybe they don't work. I don't know. As for what engine is in this, you know, truthfully, I don't know. I would assume it's probably a 5.0 Coyote, but it could just as easily be the 3.5 EcoBoost. I'm going to turn all of these off. There we go. Let's pop the hood and let's find out. Let's find out what's under the hood here. It's got some lights over here too, I assume. Yeah, I don't know what those go to. I guess we'll take a quick look. Maybe it goes to some front strobe lights. Yeah. And those are okay. Yellow and white, those should be fine. And drop your comments below. 3.5 or 5.0. Are you ready? Here you go, neither. This is the V6. Ugh. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I'll tell you something though, the V6, this V6, I know that the 3.5 and the 2.7 are V6s as well, but this is just the naturally aspirated. What is it, like a 3.7? It's a 3.3. Wow. It's a little bitty baby V6. It's tiny. No turbos, naturally aspirated. And as much as I really don't care for this particular engine, if you want one that's probably going to be reliable, this is probably it. No turbochargers to deal with. And believe me, I know that the 5.0 Coyote is also a great engine. I understand that. I really do. The problem with the Coyote, though, is if you just do a little bit of Googling, a little bit of research, you'll find out the Coyote is not as reliable as everybody thinks it is. It has its own slew of problems, like every engine does. But you want to talk about something that may not have a lot of power, may not be able to tow a whole lot, but will be something that'll get you where you need to go? Well, that little V6, man, she'll get her done. It goes in reverse, brakes feel good, drive, yeah. And let's give it a little rev. I mean, it sounds great. No warning lights on the dash at all. We'll try out the air conditioning real quick, see if it works. I'll be shocked if it does, to be honest with you. And yes, no way. It has working air conditioning. You have your auto start stop feature, which I don't know about you guys, but I hate auto start stop. Looks like you got a little 12 volt outlet right there. You got some USBs down here. What, another power point? Yep, another power point down there. You got this that does nothing. There we go. Gas ID will not show any of that. Some paperwork in the glove box. Overall, guys, this is a nice truck, and it didn't need a jump start. I love coming to this side of the Copart yard because these are they call these blue cars. It has nothing to do with the color, it's just what they call it. But blue cars they're a mixed bag. You just don't know what you're going to get, man. A lot of them are rental cars. A lot of them like this are going to be off-lease vehicles as well. So these are probably going to be some of the better vehicles that you can find here. Now, they're all probably going to have their own set of issues. They're all old cars. Well, they're not all old cars. The first vehicle was a 2023 Corolla, but it had its own issues with hail damage. So they're all going to have problems, but the majority of them I have found are really decent vehicles. Now, this car is not going to win any beauty contests, but you know, I'm trying to say something good about it. It's a Chrysler 200. I'm not the biggest fan of the Chrysler 200, but it's a decent mid-ground vehicle for people. I'm wondering if these are different colors. Either that or it's really dirty up here and not so dirty back there, because this looks a lot darker. This is a 2013 Chrysler 200 Touring, and it appears to be a repossession as well. So I'm starting to see more repos back here. I think the paint is the same. I think it's just really dirty. Flex fuel vehicle, E85 compatible. Window tint on the back is completely trash. It's gone. I have no idea what the inside of this is going to look like. Tires look like they'll get you where you need to go for a while. Paint, yep. On the roof, the clear coat is coming apart. Something going on with the fender over here. I don't know what happened there, but that's metal and it's cracked. Like, it looks like somebody shoved something in there and pried on it and just smashed it. On top of that, this is a repaint, and it looks like this is all Bondo. That's why it's cracked. It's not metal. This is full of Bondo all over. It's even cracking right here as well, all the way up. So there's a lot of Bondo. Take a look at the door. Oh yeah, this thing's been in a wreck and put back together. Yeah, you notice a lot of moisture, a lot of condensation in the headlight there on that side. Probably an aftermarket headlight assembly. Let's pop the hood. Let's take a quick look and see what we got going on here. Oh yeah. All right. Now the 3.6, it's a great engine. I actually really love that engine. But you can clearly see we've got overspray on the headlight right there. And I guarantee you that is not going to be an OEM headlight. Somebody replace it with a generic aftermarket and you get what you pay for. You'd be better off, honestly, in my opinion, you'd be better off buying a used OEM headlight assembly than a brand new Chinese knockoff. That's just my opinion. Take a look at this fender right here. You can see that it's actually bent, and you can see where everything was painted under here. They did not do a very good job on this car at all. I'm going to go ahead and hold the hood up. I'm going to check it out anyway, because this is definitely a car that should be cheap. This should be a not very expensive car. In fact, I see bodywork everywhere. There are sand marks, heavy sand marks on this pillar as well. Yeah, this whole car has bodywork. I wonder if it's also hail damaged, and somebody actually, see, there's kind of a divot. You guys won't be able to see it. There's definitely a divot right there that looks like hail damage that got missed. And there's a lot of sanding marks. And take a look right here. Do you see this? This orange peel? Yeah. I'll bet this was a hail car. Somebody went over the whole car with like a skim coat and then threw a paint job on it. And I still believe it was wrecked on the passenger side too. So this car's had a, yeah, take a look at this. The front end does not even line up on this car, guys. Look at the overlap on this fender right here. Yeah. So she's been wrecked, and I believe there's been significant hail damage, which is probably why you've got all this clear coat peel up here. It wasn't prepped right. It wasn't done right. And over years, you know, it all just kind of peels apart. The interior doesn't look too bad. Giant hole in the carpet. I mean, that's a crater. A giant hole in the carpet, straight through the padding. The center console is destroyed. The more I look at this car, the more I'm just... Yeah, I already wasn't super impressed with it, but I figured for a budget car, it's worth taking a look at. Now I don't know. I really don't know. We've got an oil change sticker. 167,092 miles is what it had listed for the oil change. I don't know, guys. Do you want to see the Chrysler 200 run? Should we throw the jump pack on it? Wait, there's a big old screwdriver in there too. Wow, okay. Huh. I'll be honest with you guys. Yes, it could be a decent budget car. It may run and drive just fine. The 3.6 is a good engine, but the rest of this car just looks like somebody threw it together, and for those reasons, I'm out. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you all for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Be sure to drop your comments below and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Till next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.